Heyo everybody, Haku here with a double review of Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin, Season 2, Episodes 10 and 11. Now, these two. I thought they were good. But again, I still have the feeling I had last week, where the season started out really good for me on a real high point, and then as it went on, I'm like, this is the product that you gave us after 3 years of waiting. But yeah, either way, let's talk about this, because like I said, I did think it was good. I'm not too sure. I feel like it's quite good, but it's just not as good as it should be. Not as good as it feels like it should be. But either way, let's start off at the beginning of 210. At the beginning of 210, we have Connie's village investigated. The Titan, obviously his mom, were being shown. So, they mention something with Ymir where they're like, so you turned human again, and just putting it together throughout watching this. So apparently, she was a person, turned into a Titan, somehow, we don't know that one yet. But then, as a Titan, she ate a person that was one of the Reiner Annie Bertolt type people that can transform in between human and Titans, and she became a person who can transform in between them herself. So it stands to reason that that's how you get the switchy back and forth power. Except, doesn't quite make sense for Eren. I guess either Eren turned, like in that blank space of time in Season 1, either he turned into a Titan and ate somebody and got the power, or actually, did we see his dad inject him with some shit? Maybe his dad turned him into a Titan and he ate somebody. Or either that or it works the opposite way, and humans that eat Titans can become Titan humans. Either way. But, yeah, still a bit, I'm not sure why they showed this early without getting more into it. I guess it's good normally to hint at things like this, but I was told or saw many people saying, okay, this wasn't shown this early in the manga or whatever. And it makes me think, I don't quite like that they moved it up earlier just to squeeze it into this season. Not sure how I feel about that. With one thing with Reiner is I've learned that I can't quite tell when Reiner's being crazy anymore or when he's being serious, because some of the things he says don't add up, and I'm just like, I can't tell if you're being crazy Reiner right now or normal Reiner. Are you a soldier or are you a warrior? I can't tell. So then we see that, yeah, I already went through that. One thing I noticed about midway through, and I guess sort of earlier on actually, probably even a third of the way through, was the animation was really down. The animation was pretty not good. Like, a lot of it was just background with characters like a PNG image moving across the background, and there were just a ton of still frames. And I'm not going to be super down on that, because while it is a bit lazy and not optimal, it's not optimal, but it's also not bad, not going into negatives, like bad CG would be. But yeah, it's a bit lazier than it could have been, which is weird because, as I said before, they had 3 years for this. But either way, I'm confused at some of the choices. We have an Ymir backstory that I thought was actually quite well done, even though it doesn't really explain much of anything to us. She was apparently taken as an orphan from somewhere, taken to a cave somewhere, made into a cult leader because they said she was like she had the blood of the king or whatever. Then these soldiers that don't look like the soldiers we've seen so far, they look like different soldiers, came along, and she said she was in the wilderness as a Titan for like 60 years, so maybe this is a government from before the walls or whatever. And these soldiers apparently pushed people off the wall and it turned them into Titans, because that's what it looked like the flash at the bottom of the wall was. So, yeah, again, it is just to a point it's okay, because it's like, okay, you hint at this stuff and then explain it later, but I don't feel like they're going to explain it this season. And if we have to wait 3 years for another season, I feel like what's the point of moving it up to fit into this season if that's the case. But either way, the OST was great, especially when we have her waking up as a human again and everything. It was just so good. Her waking up as a human again, that entire sequence was great. So then she steals Krista, back in present time and all. She steals Krista, and I think that is to where I read to in the manga. I think where I read to in the manga, and I read the manga when the first season ended, and then I stopped and didn't carry on with it. So where I ended, I'm pretty sure she grabbed Krista, jumped onto Reiner's back, and that was the chapter's end or whatever, something like that. So, yeah, episode as a whole. It was alright. It was pretty good, pretty meh. I really like Ymir, and I think I gave it kind of a high score because I like that backstory sequence a lot, even though I don't think it's gonna have payoff this season. I'm so confused. For me, I think it was a bit slow, and I'm really confused at the, I don't want to say bad production quality, but I guess bad production quality. I don't get it. They had 3 years and a huge budget, and just, it's so popular. They had so much, and this is what they came up with production-wise, when there are shows that have had a lot less production and money, like a lot less time, a lot less money put in, and they're easily doing better than this. I don't quite get the bad production and why it's this bad. But as a score, like I said, I like the Ymir backstory. I'm giving it 7.75 cave cults out of 10, because though I really liked it, I was really struggling with whether I should give it a 7.5 or 8, so I just went in the middle there. So let's talk about 211 now. 211, we have the scouts chasing after Reiner and all. Then I loved the one line where Krista's questioning Ymir like, you'd rather live out here outside of the walls with Titans than in the walls and get killed there. And Ymir's like giving her excuse of, oh, well, nobody there will say that you shouldn't have ever been born. And she's like, but they're Titans, they will eat me. And the line that was great was Ymir like, well, everybody has a fault or two. That was so good. I was like, what is this? Everybody has a fault or two. So then we get further in the episode, and I kind of feel for Ymir, because I feel like she did have little choice. I mean, they were always going to, like, it's like the Titans, the way things are going with the wall, and now they have these Titan people shifter things. The Titans are definitely eventually going to overrun the walls, and when they do, Ymir's only choice of survival would be to go to them, but because she killed one of them, they were going to kill her because of that, so she really had little choice but to try to make peace with them in the long run. One thing, though, that came after this is Misaka going after them, and I get kind of sick of Mikasa. And she is a fan favorite character, so I know I'm going to get some hate from that, but I get sick of her just not thinking about things for a minute. Not, like, her zeal of, even in the first season, it was really, really annoying, where her zeal for going after Eren just ruined her better judgment of things. And, like, everybody a perfect example is everyone was trying to reason with Bertolt and get him to just, okay, calm down, stop this madness, and work with us, tell us what's going on here, Bertolt. And he was starting to break. And then Mikasa, being an idiot, just is like, oh no, we just need to kill them. They're bad people. They're our enemy and stuff. And that sort of hardened his heart against them. He was breaking. Mikasa was, it was just so bad. Mikasa just not thinking and being an idiot and just making dumb moves here. So the scouts then use the Titans against Reiner. They run a big ol' herd of them into him. We have the lamest death of a random character, where there are the two guys on horseback, and they're talking back and forth to one another, and then one of them gets eaten by a Titan. The Titan just snuck up on them. It was so dumb. Just this random death. Then again, something I noticed before, but around the middle of the episode, or the action portion of the episode, it got so bad I put it in my notes, were a lot of still frames again, especially in the fight. It was the battle of still frames. Just, again, better than bad CG, but pretty lazy. Then we see Erwin gets stealth titaned. Again, just like the guy that got taken off the horse, Erwin gets just Titan RKO out of nowhere, just stealth tightened, and I loved him still giving orders and stuff, being a badass. But also, I think maybe the high point of this episode is Armin's smile, where he figures out that he can use Annie being captured against them, and he's just giving that speech with like that smile. Armin was great. Then we have the badass one armor when coming in again, slashing Bertolt for the save later on. Reiner starts tossing Titans at him as they're trying to run away, and I was laughing. I was done so hard at the end. Where we get the Titan that killed his mom coming out of nowhere in their time of need here. I was laughing pretty profusely at that. So yeah, that is where we ended up. Thoughts as a whole. The Battle of Still Frames. Again, like I said, at least it wasn't shit CG. Some parts near the end were great. I think, even though I was laughing at the absurdity of it, the end was pretty good. I thought all the scene with Erwin, like, slicing Bertolt stuff was so badass. Then we had, I feel like the Armin scene was really, really good, too. There were a lot of good scenes. But just the first, maybe half of the episode was really drawn out and kind of dull. And just overall, there was a lot of dull stuff. So yeah, and I'm going to give it 7 Stealth Titans out of 10. I think we have some interesting... Actually, next episode's the finale, isn't it? Next episode's episode 12, wow. So yeah, we have 1 episode left already. So yeah, that's where I am. First one, or episode 10, 7.75 out of 10, and then 7 out of 10 for episode 11. They were good, but were they good for 3 years production? Were they? So yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Either way, if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of these 2 episodes, my thoughts on them and all that. Subscribe for more Attack on Titan and much, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.